recently, Stephen A. Smith been out here, you know, really laying it on thick, and in that attempt of laying it on thick, and we all know why he's doing it. I mean, it's pretty obvious of why he's been out here laying it on thick because he is looking for a massive payday, and he's trying to double and triple his worth outside of the spectrum. Now, mind you, this guy was talking down on us YouTubers, right? A few years ago, a lot of us was on these YouTube streets, and he was out here basically looking down upon us like we were second rate, like we wasn't shit, like we had no business speaking on him. He sees that Pat McAfee got a big deal. He sees that Shannon Sharp, off his YouTube platform, got a big deal also recently. He turned down a $90 million deal, basically $18 million a year for 5 years, which basically would be on par with the contemporaries that he name dropped. Now he's back on his bullshit. He back on it. Now, this man, this miscreant, had the audacity to say that he could beat Johnny Cochran in the O.J. Simpson trial back in '94, where he was found innocent. O.J. Simpson was found not guilty in a court of law. But he want to sit there and point to the civil case in which O.J. Simpson lost. Now, mind you, the general public and these other rubes out here already had it in for O.J. Simpson. Now, a few days ago, this man went on a big old tirade about the BET Awards honoring O.J. Simpson, and that he didn't agree with BET for honoring O.J. Simpson because in his mind, O.J. Simpson don't represent black excellence, and that if he were to try that case, that he could beat Johnny Cochran, a well-renowned licensed attorney, a man who has forgotten more about what it's like to be an attorney than Stephen A. Smith even could fathom. Rest in peace to Johnny Cochran and rest in peace to O.J. Simpson. This man is literally trying to try this case well after the verdict and well after the individuals involved are not here to defend themselves. Why is he doing that? Because he's buck dancing for dollars. That's why he's doing it. He's out here buck dancing for dollars, right? Because this said two things, right? He wakes up with two things on his mind. How can he make his bosses money and how can he get some of it? And then when he gets called out for his buffoonery by Faison Love and by what's his face, Willie D, then he want to act like he motherfucking childish Gambino. He the Nino Brown of the fucking hood, right? This man want to sit up here and act like he Nino Brown of the fucking hood. And once again, whenever this man talks about a particular issue, he acts like he's the smartest guy in the room. Understand something, Stephen A. You don't speak for the black community. You don't. You don't speak for the black community in no way, shape, form, or fashion. Who said that you were some black representation or whatever like that? Who said that? Who said that you were the person that the black community could go to and say what you say for the black streets? Nah, bastard, you don't speak for the black community, man. Fuck out of here. You get all the way the fuck out of here. And you've shown that you really don't want that smoke. You really don't want that smoke, Stephen A. You don't. You talk all this Bumpy Johnson, Frank Lucas type shit when it's in front of the camera and behind the fence and death measures. But make no mistake, you punk, right? You punk. You don't keep the same energy. You all sizzle in no state. Let's just keep this a buck. I don't think you have the moxie about you to really get into a favor anybody. I don't think you got that about you, Stephen A. I really don't think that your balls is that fucking big to where if motherfucker want to smoke with you, you gonna bring the fire. I just don't believe that. I just believe that you one of them ones that talk like a motherfucking big dog. Right? You talk like a big dog, yeah, right? I mean, you out there like a motherfucking Kid Corso. Right? But when we see you in person, you a clown, bro. I swear to fucking God, you a clown, bro. You a clown. Straight up. You a fucking clown, bro. This motherfucker here talking like he was Jack Nicholson's Joker off Batman 1989. Huh. Where did they get a load of me? I had to really tell myself that I don't want that other person coming up. What kind of person? The pussy kind? Huh? What kind of person you referring to? What alter ego you got out there? Huh? I'm curious. What's this alter ego that you got to where if this other side of you come out, it's gonna be hell to pay? We all know what. Look, your playbook is simple, Stephen A. Your playbook is completely simple. It is about what do I got to do to get this money in my pocket. That's what it is. I know what it is. What do I got to do to get this money in my pocket? Now,
But on
we're going to break this shit down, right? We're going to break this shit down. And by the way, fair use. You hear me, Stephen A, with that pushback shape up you got, looking like a goddamn George Jefferson stunt double. Fair use!
My mind right now is something I could have easily touched on yesterday. But, you know, I hadn't seen all of the BET Awards, but I saw it last night. And I'm going to get started with that because this past weekend, the BET Awards, something we look forward to, something that's been a ratings bonanza, give credit where credit is due. This is a celebration, supposedly a celebration of Black culture, music, and philanthropy. Yesterday, we talked about Will Smith's performance. Remember that? Usher's Lifetime Achievement Award and subsequent speech. Remember that? Well, today,
man, skip all that bullshit. Let's get hit.
Silence from the crowd when the image of O.J. Simpson appeared on the big screen. You may recall O.J. Simpson died this past April after a battle with cancer. Yes, he is known for being a Hall of Famer on the football field, out of USC and ultimately with the Buffalo Bills in his NFL career, but he was also accused of double murder. His ex-wife, Nicole Brown Simpson, and Ronald Goldman.
Yeah, motherfucker. A trial where he was found not guilty in the court of law. The white law. The law that same law that when George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, right? And he was found not guilty. And what these racists and these other funky ass white supremacists out here said, that we had to respect the law of the land, that we had to respect the jury's decision. That's what they said. You said it on a multitude of occasions, you dumb. Goddamn samples make me sick.
Goldman back in 1994. The 30-year anniversary was just the other day, last month, June 12th to be exact. OJ was acquitted of those charges in 1995, but later found liable for their deaths a few years later in a civil trial. And the families of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman obviously criticized the BET Awards for paying tribute to Simpson.
Who gives a fuck what they think? Who gives a fuck about what the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman think? They're not black. So we can give a fuck less about what they think.
As well, they should. I don't blame them one bit. And I'm going to say this to y'all. What's up?
No, you tell me what's up.
What's up? See, Jesse Collins Production Company, same man that produced the Super Bowl halftime show. Phenomenal producer. Produced the BET Awards. Okay? Constance Orlando, an executive VP. No doubt she was involved as an executive VP.
Man,
ultimately was convicted in a civil trial and obliged to pay $33.5 million to the Goldman family, which he never really did till the day.
Okay, so get this. If the dude was not found guilty in the court of law, right? Understand something, Stephen A. If I'm found not guilty in the court of law, then why should I have to be paying any kind of money to the families of the victims in a civil suit? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. If I'm found not guilty in the court of law, that means I don't have to pay anybody anything. Fuck that civil trial. That civil trial ain't nothing but a goddamn get back. We all saw for what it was. You really didn't pay attention to the trial. You didn't pay attention to the trial, man. You can say whatever you want to say. You can sit up there and say that we all watched it and it took place during the NBA Finals, all this other shit. You can say whatever you want to say, but at the end of the day, the man was found not guilty in the court of law. So there was no reason for him to be paying any kind of money in a civil case. Period. We all know, we saw for what it was. It was a fucking sham. When you factor in how corrupt the LAPD is, right? They've been corrupt back then. They're just as corrupt, if not even more corrupt now. when you factor in how corrupt they were, when you factor in the detective, Mark Furman, being a racist, right? And admitted to planting evidence. We factor in Nicole Brown. Had a handyman. Glenn Edward Rogers. Now, you probably don't even know nothing about Glenn Edward Rogers, right? You probably didn't have a clue of who Glenn Edward Rogers is. And many of you that's watching this video, that's going to watch this video on the replay, probably have never heard of Glenn Edward Rogers. There was a documentary that came out in 2012. This white man, Glenn Edward Rogers, was the guy claiming that he committed the 1994 murders of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman. Right? Now, if anybody know how blood works, right? When you slice into something, if you stab somebody, blood's going to go everywhere. That means if OJ really did it, that means there should have been blood on him when they picked him up. It should have been blood on his hands. It should have been blood on his shirt. There should have been blood everywhere. The fact that they arrested OJ and he had no blood on him, he had no cuts on him, because when you stab somebody, right, typically there will be a struggle. So there's no struggle, no blood on OJ. Come on now. We all know the fix was in. But Stephen A. Smith, his buck dancing, go settle up the mountain having ass, ain't gonna tell you nothing like that. I still think he was guilty, running around here looking like a goddamn bobblehead. So, yeah, Stephen A., fuck out of here. You don't speak for the black community because you're not telling the truth right now. You're not telling the truth. All you want to do is a zoom, 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 and a boom, boom, and you will shake your stinking ass on TV.
He died, never happened. But we all viewed him as a double murderer. He was ostracized and considered a pariah by the vast majority of American citizens. Why? Because regardless of what people want us to believe, unlike most situations, unfortunately, we saw the trial. And yeah, the glove didn't fit, so you must have quit. And the late, great Johnny Cochran pulled that off. And I've had Carl Douglas, the famed attorney working on Johnny Cochran's team during the OJ trial, on this show on a few occasions. And he talked about the preponderance of evidence that validated a civil suit against O.J. Simpson, but not necessarily a criminal suit, because there were holes in the argument that were left by the LAPD and beyond, basically going out of their way to ensure that a person that was guilty in their eyes would be convicted, and it backfired on them. We know that story. But in the end, Nicole Brown Simpson is gone. Ronald Goldman is gone. The Brown family, is still around. The Goldman family, Fred Goldman, who I've always had a strong level of sympathy for, is still around. And you're O.J. Simpson. I know this is not popular to say. And two of my boys, because I love Mace and I love Cameron, and I know what respect they have for O.J. I'm not casting any aspersions on anybody like that. They have their relationship with them, and that's their business. More power to them. My attitude is this. O.J. Simpson never gave a shit about black people until he was indicted.
Guess what? You don't give a shit about black people right now. To this very moment, you don't give two pieces of rat droppings about black people. Look how you go hard body in the paint when it comes to O.J. Simpson or Kyrie Irving, because you tried to get Kyrie Irving kicked out the NBA. Right? When you falsely claim that you fucking was promoting the WNBA in 2021, which is a complete lie, right? And Monica McNutt called you out on that lie, right? And 2021 was the year of Stephen A. going on this massive jihad against Kyrie Irving. And you go hard body in the paint when it comes to black folks. But when it comes to Ryan Garcia was busted cheating. Then he go on a racist rant on fucking Twitter. Don't worry, we're going to get to your response to that one. We're going to get to your response to that. That kid glove treatment you gave Ryan Garcia. But when it comes to somebody black, though, it's all hellfire and brimstone. Like you motherfucking can this shit.
Never gave a damn. You know, you look at Jay-Z's album. I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. That was what OJ said. I ain't black, I'm OJ. Never gave a damn. Never gave a damn about black folks until he was indicted on murder charges. Never gave a damn about black folks until he was ostracized, by and large, by society as a whole. Never gave a damn. And it just amazes me how we would sit up there and I'm looking at it, forget the fact that in memoriam he was celebrated, he was mentioned, what have you. I mean, I'm looking at it from the standpoint, how should the family of Carl Weathers feel? How should the family of Willie Mays feel?
Okay, so here we go. Here we go again. What does the family of Carl Weathers and Willie Mays have to do with the fact that O.J. Simpson isn't here anymore and the fact that BET decided to honor O.J. Simpson because for a period of time before he was falsely accused and and had to go through that fucking kangaroo court, right? He was black excellence. Did you forget that, Stephen A? He was black excellence. This man was a record breaker at USC. And he was a record breaker in the NFL when he played for the Buffalo Bills. So how's that not black excellence? And Stephen A. Smith, if you just so-called person that understands what goes on in the system of white supremacy here, right? You know that a lawyer's job is to win cases. It's not about the facts. It's about them winning cases. And we've seen a multitude of instances where black men and black women were falsely accused by the same system that we're supposed to respect and protect and uphold, doing time in prison over crimes they didn't commit due to the lies of a white woman. So why shouldn't a person cast doubt on what the fuck goes on during these proceedings? There's always three sides to a story. One side, the other side, and baked in that is the truth. Somewhere in that, in the sides of the two parties that presented their arguments lies the truth. Always three sides to a story. And if you understand how the media works, because you supposed to be this end all be all, right? You supposed to be this guy that is the creme de la creme in media. You all know how media lies and gaslights to formulate and drive a narrative. You drive narratives every day, you dumb. So you don't tell the truth. So why should we have any kind of credibility towards you? Remember, you wake up with two things on your mind. How can you make your boss's money and how can you get some of it? Right? So yeah, you can miss me with your dumb shit. DJ, spin that shit.
How should the family of Bill Cobbs? Y'all don't know about that fabulous actor that he was. Ghost of Mississippi, New Jack City, and a plethora of other films that he was a part of. He was a legendary figure. How's his family supposed to feel when they're mentioned in the same breath as O.J. Simpson? Think about that for a second. This is the BET Awards. I mean, I know that it's no longer owned by Bob Johnson. I get that part. I understand that. I understand that in 2000, all right, I'm just pulling from my notes here.
Man, fuck all
Dallas Police Department effed up the case, which ultimately got him acquitted because he had one of the greatest lawyers this nation has ever known in Johnny Cochran, the late, great Johnny Cochran. OJ never gave a damn.
And like I say, you don't give a damn. You don't give a damn about the black community. Don't sit up here act like you this motherfucking big old voice of the streets, because you're not. You're not. You are not no voice of the streets. You are a buck dancer. And that is the bottom line. That's the truth of the matter. Faison Love and Willie D went line when they called you the they crash test dummy of white supremacy, because that's what you are. They made you. Because who was Stephen A. Smith without the ESPN machine behind him?
He hung around white people. He lived, that white culture. He didn't give a damn about his own. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You want to go to golf clubs and be members of golf clubs and all this stuff and live a posh, affluent lifestyle? Hell, we all trying to achieve that. I know I am. But what you never hear me say is that I'm not black. I'm Stephen A. Oh, I'm very black. Most of us are, if not all of us. I'm talking about in our spirit and in our soul. It's never something we want to detach ourselves from.
Oh yeah, you detach yourself from your blackness just because you show up on ESPN First Take with some cross-colored jackets and some other stuff from an HBCU. Yeah, that'll make you black, motherfucker. Right? That'll make you black. I'm not apologizing for that either. You're not black. You might have black skin, but you don't carry yourself as a black man. No, you carry yourself as a motherfucking crash test dummy. You buck dancing, go sell up the mountain. Reverend Leon Lonnie Love, you spit shoe shiner. Now, you need to let that go. You need to let that go when it comes to O.J. Simpson. All right? He ain't here to defend himself, right? And you out here committing slander on a dead person's name. Because you think he was guilty. We can wipe our ass with what you think when it comes to that. Now, staying on subject, but shifting gears, we're going to go to what he said when it comes to Ryan Garcia. We all know Ryan Garcia, old bitch ass, was out here talking that shit, right? Disparaging and disrespecting the black community and shit, right? And in that, Ryan Garcia racist rantings and disrespecting the black community and shit, that punk bitch got fucking suspended and banned from boxing. That bitch got banned from boxing. So, let's look at Stephen A. Smith's delayed response. Once again, you dumb, fair use.
Now let me get to the big story that I want to get into in the world of sports today, and that involves boxer Ryan Garcia. Once again, he's making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Yet again, away from the ring, of course. The latest incident occurred during a live stream on social media where Garcia repeatedly used racial slurs against black people and even disparaged Muslims. As a result, the WBC expelled Garcia from any activity with the organization. This follows the one-year suspension he also received from the New York State Athletic Commission after a positive test for a performance-enhancing drug. The suspension is retroactive to Garcia's April 20th decision victory over Devin Haney, which was overturned due to a no contest. Here's what Garcia's family had to say in light of the recent decision from the W. He should be suspended indefinitely. There should be a disassociation with him from the sport of boxing because the things that he's doing and the kind of trouble he finds himself in are not a byproduct of boxing. In all likelihood, it's a byproduct of alcohol and drugs. We can slice it any way we want.
Okay. So, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. So you're just gonna, make excuses for Ryan Garcia's bad behavior by blaming drugs and alcohol, right? Really, Stephen A? Look, understand something. Drugs and alcohol make you more of who you are at the core. Drugs and alcohol make you more of who you make excuses for Ryan Garcia is beyond repulsive and it's disgusting. And like people be saying, every time you tell a lie, your hairline be going back to the goddamn back of your forehead. Now let's continue with this diarrhea of the mouth.
Want to, but that's just how it appears to be. That's what we're looking at right now. And I think that needs to be said. I've interviewed Brian Garcia on at least 2 or 3 occasions. Actually, I've been very fond of him.
We know.
Like him a lot. Once upon a time, I felt that he had a chance to be the new face of boxing. I did make it contingent upon him being able to beat Gervonta Davis, which he did not do. He got dropped in the 2nd round and then got the fight stopped in the 6th round due to a...
No, you dumb. The fight was stopped in the 7th round. Remember? A body shot dropped him in the 7th, not the 6th. Did you really watch the fight?
Body shot, okay, from Gervonta Davis. And so that's where that happened. But in the end, as we look at him right now, he definitely seems to have a screw loose. And nobody is interested in being compassionate right now. When you insult Black people, when you insult Muslims, as he did in that video, okay, bringing up George Floyd, talking about, calling himself a member of the KKK and all of he does not seem in his right mind. He seems out there and he has completely tarnished his career. Once upon a time, Ryan Garcia was absolutely positively box office. I'm not trying to imply that he's not box office now, because I think if he went into the ring, still a lot of people are going to watch him because he's got lightning quick hands. He's got power.
Man, see, fuck all that. We don't care about how he got lightning quick hands and how he got power and all that. No one gives a fuck about none of that. We wanted you to have the same energy for Ryan Garcia or racist ass than you would if a Black man did something wrong. And if a Black man, remember Martavis Bryant got busted for weed, and here you go, black. I mean, just cut these everlasting next level type jigs. But Ryan Garcia, we supposed to just pivot and treat the situation with kid gloves, right? The fuck out of here, man. You are disgusting. This is why you don't speak for the Black community. This is why the Black community don't rock with you. We don't associate with you. We don't even give a fuck about that bullshit you saying right now. Because see, you know what? Let's continue on.
He's got skills, but he's got a screw loose. It's just that simple. It's not fun to watch. It's not pleasant to watch by any stretch of the imagination.
So you can understand, Stephen A. It's not fun to hear this man going a racist tirade on Twitter. This man goes on a racist tirade on Twitter, and yet you're going to make excuses for him for why he's going on a racist tirade, right? You're going to make excuses for that.
But I really...
And why are you showing him dropping Devin Haney? Why are you showing that? You had no business showing that. For what? What kind of agenda are you driving, Stephen A?
Leave more than anything. He's warped because he lost to Gervonta Davis. He was embarrassed by it. And I don't think there's anything to be embarrassed about. It was a good fight. He got caught and got dropped, got right back up, went back to fight Gervonta Davis. And not only did he do that, But you get caught by a body shot. That happens. He didn't get knocked out the way Frank Martin did.
And here comes the pivot. Okay, Stephen A., what the fuck does any of that have to do with the fact this man went on a racist tirade on Twitter? Huh? Why'd you bring up Frank Martin? What does Frank Martin have to do with this, huh? See, I told you you're a buck dancer. I tell you you're a coon. I tell you you're a goddamn handkerchief head, because why did you bring up Frank Martin? And what does Frank Martin have to do with the fact that Ryan Garcia went on a racist rant on Twitter? You really trying to lay that coonery on thick for them dollars, huh?
That uppercut that left Frank Martin hopeless before ultimately getting caught with a left check from Gervonta Davis that put him down, that a knockout. That's not how Ryan Garcia went out. And I know it was ultimately his win over Devin Haney was ruled a no contest. I blame Devin Haney for that. What the hell you take the fight for? He came in 3 pounds.
Hey, stupid motherfucker. See, there you go again with that bullshit. There you go again with that bullshit. You gonna sit there and blame Devin Haney for Ryan Garcia being a cheater? How fucking dare you? How fucking dare you disrespect Devin Haney like that? And you out here, boy, I swear to fucking God, man. I swear to fucking God. You are a coon ass nigga to the 10th power, yo. Between you and fucking Whitlock, Lord have mercy, boy. I swear to fucking God, you make me sick. You make me sick, you buck dancer. You gonna blame Devin Haney for Ryan Garcia, and you literally tried to pivot from that shit. What's up, bro? Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey, man. Woo. You laying that coonery on thick there, ain't it? You, boy. You really are out here dancing for these dollars, huh? You blame Devin Haney? Why'd you blame Devin Haney? What does Devin Haney have to do with the fact that this punk motherfucker Ryan Garcia went on a racist tirade on Twitter? Answer that question. Huh? Answer that question, you motherfucking bitch made. Boy. What? You need to answer that question right there. Huh? Ryan Garcia goes on a racist tirade on Twitter and you somehow blame Devin Haney and you bringing up Frank Martin. What the fuck they got to do with Ryan Garcia doing that shit, huh? What's up, LVZ? So you got to answer that question. So yeah, you need to sit your ass down somewhere.
Pounds overweight. He made no efforts to honor the contract. It was supposed to be for a title shot at the 140-pound division, but ultimately he was ineligible for the belt because he came in 3 pounds overweight, and you're gonna bet him $500,000 for every pound that he's overweight, and he glad you gave you the $1.5 million that he owed you for being 3 pounds overweight. Come on, bro. You're the champion. You were undefeated. You should have never gave him that fight. If he's not willing to honor the clause, so be it. To fight Gervonta Davis, he had to have a weight clause, a hydration clause, all of that. Gervonta wasn't playing that mess. And I believe that Ryan Garcia feels completely hosed because he had to give in to all of those stipulations for Gervonta Davis. And he said, I don't give a damn about rules. I don't give a damn about the belt. All I care about is making sure that I leave the ring victorious, because that's what people will remember. And when it comes to Devin Haney, he's absolutely right. Because even though he cheated, because clearly he didn't honor the weight clause, and he was using performance-enhancing drugs because he tested twice positive for it, tested positive twice for it.
No, dumbass. He failed 5 different fucking tests. 5. He failed 5 different tests. But yet somehow you speaking on, boy, if you don't get your ass out of here. You're not even telling the truth right now. You're just sitting up here just shucking and jiving because you know that you're trying to make that money for ESPN. You literally trying to get that $25 million a year. If this is what $25 million a year would get, you out here shucking and jiving, laying it on thick, putting on them tap shoes, and doing the Gregory Hines shuffle? Huh? Is this what $25 million a year gonna get you? ESPN will fire your ass for the second time. So once again, it begs the question, what the fuck does Devin Haney have to do with the fact that this man was on a live stream talking that shit, running his mouth, going on a racist rant? And I'm supposed to be sympathetic, and I'm supposed to, oh well, Ryan Garcia, he having a tumultuous year. He just going through a really tough time right now. So get the fuck out of here, dude. Who died, man? You his goddamn therapist.
So there's no other way to slice that. At the end, we're gonna remember him dropping Devin Haney 3 times.
And at the end, we're gonna remember you being a buck dancing sellout. This is what we're gonna remember you for. When you go hard body in the paint for anybody else that is black, but you sit up here and pivot and shuffle and shuck and jive and put on kid gloves when it comes to the other. Who can ever forget years ago, a couple years ago, he tried to get Kyrie Irving kicked out the league over COVID. And Kyrie Irving was being honest about why he didn't take the jab. But Aaron Rodgers come out and lied about taking the jab, and Stephen A. Smith was on First Take looking like he lost his puppy. And he treated that situation with kid gloves.
We're going to remember how weak and damn near helpless Devin Haney looked in losing to Ryan Garcia. And that's what we're going to hold on to, regardless of what the governing bodies say about it.
So you condone cheating then. If you're going to sit up there and hold on to that, that means you condone cheating, motherfucker. Let's just keep this 100. You condone cheating. You condone cheating. Because you out here saying the same thing these other dumbasses on social media is saying when it comes to defending Ryan Garcia. Yeah, like that showbiz pizza motherfucker, that bug-eyed boogaloo punk bitch, that Africoon motherfucker, yeah, that bitch. He wants to sit up here and do the pivot too. Talk about I know I'm a black man. Yeah, the motherfucker said he was anti-black. It don't affect me. It affect you guys. That's why I'm on here talking about it right now. I'm up here to uplift the sport of boxing. Bitch. The only thing I can see you uplifted was a bowl of jollof rice, you punk bitch. Anyway, let's finish this shit up.
No contest or anything like that. So Ryan Garcia knew that, and that's why he didn't care. But he deserves the 1-year banishment, and he deserves for his family to issue the statement that they issued. And right now, if the black community and the Muslim community is pissed at him, they have every right to be with what he. But I think that he.
Guess what, Stephen A., you say you a black man, you say you part of the black community, so why are you putting the black community in a third person? Huh? You said that you was a black man. So why is the black community in third person? Shouldn't you be outraged? Shouldn't you be out here, banging the drum for making sure this motherfucker never steps inside the ring again? Shouldn't you be out here denouncing and desecrating Ryan Garcia like how you tried to desecrate Kyrie Irving? You say who's worse, Stephen A. or Tim Scott? Only reason I give that nod to Tim Scott because Tim Scott's in close proximity to power. That's why I give the nod to Tim Scott. But Tim Scott is a goofball too. All because Kyrie Irving had the audacity to post and share a link. But you don't talk about how Amazon made money hand over fist over it. You don't talk about how Amazon jacked up the price for that documentary. You don't even want to confront the guy who made the documentary, Ronald Dalton Jr., who's black. So are you really a truth teller or are you just some narrative pusher? And I have no good faith your ass didn't even watch the documentary. But since everybody else is outraged, I figure I'll just jump on that train too. Because I have my own personal issues with Kyrie Irving. And I'm going to use this documentary as a front to excoriate Kyrie Irving because I have my own personal issues with Kyrie Irving, which he admitted later on, months later on the Pat McAfee show of all places.
He's mentally warped because he was embarrassed because he can't get over the fact that he lost to Gervonta Davis. If Ryan Garcia had beaten Gervonta Davis, I don't think we're seeing all of this. I think we're seeing a brother that's at the top of the heat in the fight game. That's absolutely box office. And we'd be talking about who he's going to fight next. I think that's what we'd be seeing. But he lost to Gervonta Davis, and that's what this is about. Either way you slice it, the brother needs help. He really, really does. Because he does seem mentally warped.
Man, fuck that. He don't need help. He needs an ass whooping. He don't need no damn help. He needs an ass whooping. Why is it every time these motherfuckers out here be running their mouth like that, talking shit about black folks, disparage the black community, trying to disrespect the black community all the time? Oh, these guys are warped. They need help. You know, he had one too many blows to the head. No, he didn't have enough feet in his ass. And you sitting up here making excuses for it. You sit up here bringing up other black men like Frank Martin and Tank Davis and goddamn Devin Haney like they have anything to do with the fact that Ryan Garcia is a stone cold racist to the core. You're easy to beat, okay? You are easy to debunk and disintegrate. You are not the smartest person in the room. If anything, you're the complete opposite. You can't even beat Jason Whitlock or turkey eating ass in the goddamn debate. Now you got fixing your mouth to say that you could beat Johnny Cochran? Are you fucking out of your mind, dude? Are you out of your fucking mind, dude? You gotta be. If anybody got the screw loose, it's you. You out here playing Friday night quarterback on 30 years after the fact. You guys let me know what y'all think, man. Straight up, man. If I already didn't have no respect for this guy. But this right here makes me have even less respect for this guy. Because it's disgusting and it's dishonorable. You know how to subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. Thank you for watching. This your man. Scream at me. Hurt!